Hey guys, Koi here. I'm in the garage today doing some boat rigging, and I wanted to show you real quick how I have my Torqeedo mounted to my Radar 115. Now it's mounted in a way that I can use my pedal drive in conjunction with the motor. And I guess why would I want to do that? So basically, if I'm fishing a large body of water on a specific day, say for a tournament, the Torqeedo is going to get me from point A to point B. And then typically I like to fish with the pedal drive. I prefer the pedal drive when I'm fishing because I can move in and out of cover by front pedaling, back pedaling. I think it's a lot stealthier, and I'm conserving energy from the battery pack. So no matter what, at the end of the day, I should always have enough battery to get me back to where I started from. So I'm doing this by myself today. Let me grab the camera and get started here. I hope you're going to like it. Okay. Let's grab my Torqeedo. You can see I've got a piece of 4-inch track mounted to a mounting plate here. I've got 2 rudder control cables that are ran to the front of the boat, to the foot peg system that Wilderness System offers to hook up a Torqeedo. So basically what you get is with that kit is adjustable foot pegs and the mounting hardware and the rudder lines. I made my own mounting plate. Now you can get the mounting plate from Wilderness Systems. They have one now that's really great. And then you need a piece of 4-inch gear track of your choice. I went with the metal flanged one with the exterior flanges just to give me a little more support. Okay, so I grabbed the traditional Torqeedo setup. Now you can use the piece of tubing that came with it. I got a separate piece of tubing and made it a little bit longer. I got some 2-inch Mighty bolts, Yak Attack Mighty bolts, and some thumb screws. All right, and my Torqeedo mounts just like so. All right, now to get around the problem of the rudder head, I've mounted a pulley to the bottom of this tube. Hopefully you can see there. It is from a anchor trolley system. So have you get a better look at that. That is the pulley here. And what you're going to do is take the rudder line from this side, go under the rudder head and through the pulley, and connect it to the steering block. And then I always run the other side through the pulley as well. This is basically to keep everything together. Nothing gets tangled. And you hook it up to this side. So these are hooked to my foot pegs. Now I've mounted the steering block is actually, as you can see, it's turned sideways. So the reason is if this thing is straight this way, you're not going to get as much turning radius out of your line. So this is just adjusted, loosened and adjusted this way so that each foot peg can pull it left or right. Then I have my lift line and my reverse line. So my reverse line is hooked up by my seat on my gear track. It's on a bungee system so that it has a little bit of down pressure without me even holding it. And it keeps the line straight and tangle free. Top line hooks up. And this is your lift line so that the motor can raise and lower. And as far as the motor being on the boat, we're done. So you're going to hook up your power to your battery, and then your battery to your remote control. Alright, so I want to show you the controller setup. I have it mounted up front, directly behind the pedal drive and in front of my seat. Now it's on a 1-inch ram ball setup so that it can be moved around. If I want to get into my center storage hatch, I can just loosen this up, move it to the side, and get in there. The Radar has a 1/4-20 threaded insert right here that's exposed after you install the pedal drive. So it's a perfect place to put a 1-inch ram ball the 1-inch adapter, and then there's a 1-inch ram ball up underneath the remote. So the pedal drive rudder is controlled by the handle on the left, and the motor is controlled by the foot pegs that move back and forth. So when you're out during the day, and now you're at point B, and you want to deploy your pedal drive, the way this is set up, we'll have to go around the boat. So right now you would be using the motor. So what you want to do is, my lift line setup is very simple. So the reverse line is hooked to this ball on a bungee. The bungee is basically just to keep the line in tension out of the way. So if you want to reverse, you hold back on this line while you're reversing, then you let go. Now if you want to raise the motor, I've got the lift line just on a basic carabiner. It slides up and hooks to this eyelet. So now when that's up, the motor is lifted. Alright? So that allows you to deploy the rudder. Alright, so we put the rudder down. I can't do it from this side of the boat. So basically, what you're going to do now, you can see the pedals, or the foot pegs, are going to be in the way of the pedal drive when it gets deployed. So let's go ahead and put it down. Latch it in place. Deploy it. So now you've got the issue of your foot pegs are in the way of the pedals, but not really. So before you put it down, all you have to do is slide those forward out of the way. And the reason that you can do that is because this motor is set to move back and forth. So the foot pegs will draw that motor all the way in. That slack allows the foot pegs to go forward enough to be out of the way. So now your pedal drive works perfectly. The motor doesn't have to be that far back. It's the way I did it. I think you can put it forward more. And then the rudder simply deploys the same way that it would from the factory. So now you're using the pedal drive and not the motor. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's obviously not a real high quality video, but I think it gets the point across. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Super simple setup. One thing I want to point out, the great thing about this setup is, if you have another kayak, all that you have to do is get another piece of 4-inch gear track and mount it to that kayak, and you're ready to roll. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.